So welcome to Polymer Clay TV. Today I want to show you some cool things you can do with scrap. And you know, we always have so much scrap, and yes, you can make beads and stuff like that, but I wanted to show you some fun things you can do, you know, to really change it up. And here's some that I've already made. Let me just move these stamps because we're going to use stamps and we're going to use texture sheets with this. I have all these pieces here. This one I thought was really cool. And this one here I used something that I'm going to tease you with. This is TJ Floyd's new texture sheet, which I absolutely adore. Look at how cool this piece is. And I'm going to show you how I did this. Really simple, but really effective, as you can see. This is another cool one I made with the Ginkgo texture sheet. And these are all just cut out with our cookie cutters. But look at how cool. These were done with metallic paint, which I'm going to show you. And one of the things I want to talk about a little bit is paint. When you're working with paint, you have to test things out. Not every paint is going to work the same. Not every paint is going to dry on polymer clay. Not every paint is going to, you know, not remain sticky. And some might dry really well, some might not. It also depends on where you live, if you have a humid climate. So there's a lot of factors that can affect whether, you know, the paint's going to work on clay. So you always want to test things before you get too involved. So anyways, I did use a few different metallic paints, which is what I started with. And what I do first is I condition my scrap clay. So let's take a little bit of this here. And here's my texture sheet. And I like to just get it conditioned well, and then I roll it flat before I even put it on my texture sheet. And depending on what you're going to make, you know, obviously you adjust the size of your scrap clay. And this is literally just scrap clay, nothing pretty here. Although that's not too bad. But anyways, so you want to put it onto your texture sheet, and you can use your fingers, your thumbs, a rolling pin, whatever it is to get it to pick up the actual design off the texture sheet. And I do a little of all of those things I just said, depending on what I'm doing, you know. You can also, this is another fun tip, okay? You could take two texture sheets or two rubber stamps, and you could lay one on each side and then press it, so that when you do lift this, you then have two sides that are textured. So that's another little fun tidbit that you could do as well. So you see it's textured on this side, but really I was going for the texture on this side. So there you have that. You can then pick some cookie cutters. I grabbed this one here and cut out where you want. Let me see, that looks good. Cut out your piece. I clean it up while it's still in the cookie cutter so that I don't have these stragglers after the fact, and then I give it a little push out. So look at how beautiful this is before. This is just scrap clay, mind you. So this is where the fun stuff comes in. I've got this Waverly chalk paint, and you can use any white paint that you have for this technique. And I'm going to show you these two, and so you get an idea. And you do the same thing with all of them, but this one in particular, I'm going to use a little makeup sponge type of thing. And you just simply go over your piece, and you want to use enough to cover it. I mean, you're totally looking to cover that scrap, and that's the thing about it. You can use any color. It can be as ugly as anything. It doesn't matter, because you're going to cover it up. And this is a great way to use up your scrap and make something really, really pretty. And you'll see just how easy it is. And I just do a nice coverage. I want to make sure I get down in those grooves, every little, you know, inch of it. I don't worry too much about the sides at this point. You can come back and do the sides, but I just want to show you the technique. Make sure I got it all in there, and that looks good. Let me set that aside. Then I just take a paper towel, simple paper towel. Let me move this up here so you can see a little better. And I give it one blot, like so. That's it, okay? Then I came back in, and these are the Jade Effects pigments that we have. And I'm using my finger for this. And let me move this out of the way so this can get in the screen. And I just use my finger. And I do this when the paint is wet. and rub it over. I mean, this is how crazy easy it is to get such a cool look on your scrap clay. Look at this. How cool is that? I mean, I just love it. I love it, and it couldn't be any easier. And if you find that this might be a little dark for you, you can always wipe some off until you get the exact look that you want. But I love it. I think it looks so pretty, yet so unbelievably easy. Okay, so that's that one. And here, I'm going to cap this. Now, this one was done the same way, and this is the ginkgo leaves. So you would just put the paint in it. And however, with this one, after I did my paint, I came back with the copper pan pastel instead. So let me show you that. I'll just take a little piece off of this one, just so you can see. Again, we're just gonna fill it in with the white paint. You know, all your spots there. Cover up that scrap clay. We don't need to see it. It's not so pretty anyways this time. And let's get it all in there so you can see the whole thing. You know, once it dries, I would come back and do my edges, because that way you don't get it all over yourself as much. Okay, well, once again, give it a little blot. If you missed a spot, go back. And then while it's still wet, I'm going to use, this is the copper, although my fingers are still dirty from the last one. And I'm just going to go over the whole top of it with the copper. Look how pretty that is. I mean, it's really simple, this technique, yet you get some really cool results. Let me show you a few of the other ones that I did already, so you can get an idea, and I'll share with you how I did those. Okay, so I've got, these are upside down. Move this one. This one here was done with this rubber stamp, which came out of last month's Create Along box. You probably, if you got that, you definitely got this stamp, and it's called The Motion of the Ocean. And if you didn't and you're interested, it is in our cart, so you can find it there. And I stamped it. I used one of our hole cutters, and on the back I put like a shimmer, something that we have coming up to share with you. It's what I call a shimmer shift, so that's upcoming. But that was on there, and then I went on top of it with the green and a mixture of the blue pigments out of the jade set. And look at how cool that looks. I love that look. Okay, so this one here was, I mean, they're all completely ugly scrap clay. I mean, there's no doubt about it. The clay is not a pretty clay when you start out. But it's all done the same. I use these metallics, the metallic paints. This is one of them. And okay, so let me, back when I said things remain sticky, these paints remain sticky. I have yet to bake them, but I'm going to bake it, and I'm going to share that with you. I'll let you guys know on the blog how it ended up after I baked it. But you can definitely use the Extreme Sheens. I've tested those. Those bake really well, and those are by Deco Art. And so you can do the same technique. And all I did, once again, was to put the paint all over it, just like I did with the white, blotted it, and then came along the top with a different color. And you get these really cool pendants that are so simple to do. And you don't have to, you're not restricted to pendants. You can make boxes and vases or whatever you have with any kind of texture you have. I even did this one here with a flexi. I pushed it into the flexi, the Lotus flexi, and did the same technique to that and overlaid it over one of our mandala silk screens to get that look. So that was fun. It's a fun and easy technique, and I hope you'll try it. And come on over to polymerclaytribe.com. That's our Facebook group, and share what you make. I'd love to see what you make. This really is an easy technique that anybody can do, beginner or advanced, and get really cool looks. This one was done with a gold paint, the golden. Let me show you that one, which I really love. This golden paint gives a really sparkly gold, and then I used the pan pastels on the other half. So the idea is that you can mix and match paints, you can mix and match inks, you can mix and match pigments. Just use your imagination and have fun with it, and you're going to be surprised by some of the awesome stuff you come up with. So thanks again for joining me, and I will see you next time. And come and check out polymerclayadventure.com for our wonderful event that we have. It's a year-round event, and we have over 20 classes in there, all for one low price. So definitely check that out, and you can find our products at createalone.com. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.